Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. Been doing some work on the truck here. This is a really nice day outside. Just got done changing a pitman arm. I'm already greasy and dirty, so figure might as well jump into another task here right away. And we're gonna do an annual PM on the bunk heater. I have an Espar unit. An Espar and a Webasto are very, very similar. You're gonna do essentially the same thing to service them. There's two items you gotta service. The igniter screen, or the glow plug screen, whatever you want to call it, and then the fuel screen, fuel filter. It's just a tiny little screen that's in there. They're both not that hard. You got to be kind of careful with that igniter. I'll show you that when we get to it. If you like these kinds of things, hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll get started.
Welcome to the channel, yeah. Do it yourself, semi.
Hey yo, DIY semi. Come on, won't you let me help you simplify what your life needs? Hey yo, DIY semi. Come on, won't you let me help you make a profit in life? Yeah, we gon' break it down, break it down. Come on, make a profit, break it down, break it down. Simplify, don't stop it, break it down, break it down. Come on, make a profit, break it down, break it down. Simplify, don't stop it,
First of all, we got to get this thing opened up. So you got this cap on the end. Just turn it, and it'll pop off. And on the end of here, you got a couple tabs. You just pull on them. See, there's those tabs. Take that thing right off. Here's the plug we're going to be taking out. We got to take this screw out here. Okay, squeeze these two tabs here and lift up. There, okay. Now on this side of the control box, there's a little plug in the bottom we got to pull out. So I'll do that right now. There's only one plug on this side. Okay. And then, see this brown and white wires here? Follow them to the control box and pull that plug out. And don't worry about putting it back in, it can only go one way. So we have the wires freed up for this. The reason we need the wires freed up is it has to spin independently. We gotta work this rubber grommet off. To do that, I'm gonna hold here so that we're not pulling on those wires, because you can pull them off the igniter plug and then you're in trouble. You broke it, you gotta buy a new one. So I'm gonna kind of push back a little bit as I work this up. Okay, there, the plug is exposed. This tool is nothing more than a 12mm slotted socket. You can buy these anywhere they sell these heaters, or you could make yourself one. Just take a deep well 12mm, cut a slot in it. I just bought one because they're reusable, good forever. So we have to work this kind of over the wires here. That's why it's slotted. Get it down on the plug, and then I just take this here, slide it in there. They're not in tight, so just be very gentle. There. Once you get it freed up, you can turn it by hand. Just be very careful of these wires. There's your igniter pin, or glow plug, some people like to call it, whatever you want to call it. Down in this hole here is your your screen. I'm going to take this angled pick here, put it in the hole, and dig that screen out. So pried it loose with my pick. This thing's giving me grief. It's just doesn't want to cooperate. I was able to grab it here with my needle nose pliers. There, got her out. I mangled it up pretty good, but that's okay. We're not reusing it. That's the whole purpose of doing this service here. There's one more thing in here that we have to do. I don't think you'll be able to see it with the camera being how dark it is, but there is a hole, a little pinhole down in the side of this igniter tube here. We gotta clean that out. It's right over here. It's about that far down on my finger. It's right over here. You just gotta get your pick in there, work it around. That's a vent hole. We need to make sure the air can flow through that vent hole. So, got her all cleaned out. Now, if your hole here is carboned up real bad, you can take a little brush and just go up and down in the hole to clean it if you need to. Mine doesn't really have anything in there. This is our new screen here with an application tool. So I'll just take and I'll put the screen on the tip of the tool here. And the purpose of this tool, we're going to put the seam on the screen away from that vent hole. The purpose of this tool is to set the depth on it to get it down in there how deep we want it. So we'll just set it in the hole there, push it down in. See the lip on there? It sets the depth on that screen. And there we go. That's in. Okay, we're ready to put this igniter back in. Just be very gentle. Okay. Once again, work this socket onto here. And then we just want to just firm it up. There. Be careful pulling your socket back off. I'm going to do the same thing to putting this plug back on. Hold this wires very gently, push it. There, plug is in. Now we got to plug all these wires back in. Okay, there's that side. You got that side there. Now you notice these wires can fit in a little slot here. I recommend putting them in that slot. Keeps them out of the way. Get this over into place. Push it back down. The tabs need to lock here. Put our screw back in. We're ready to put this on. sure those tabs lock. There we go. And twist it to lock it in place. That's it here. So after that, we want to start it up, test fire it, make sure it's going to run good. You don't want to do what's called short cycling these things though, starting them up and shutting them off right away. Then we'll go outside and I'll show you the rest of it. This is a fuel pump here. There's a little fuel screen filter here. Inside here we want to take out and change annually also. So first I'll take this clamp off, slide the hose off so this will spin a little easier, give me a little bit of room to work under here. Alrighty. I just pulled the hose off of here. Take this out. Up in there we got a little fuel screen. So I'm gonna use my pick to get that out. I just pulled this out of here, trying to move it so I can show it better on the camera. You don't really need to pull it out. Okay, here's what that little fuel screen looks like. So all we have to do is take our new filter, or screen, slide it in the end here. Okay. Take this, put it back in here, screw on the fitting that was on here, put the hose back on, put the clamp on it, and we're done. Just one word though, if you're messing with this, taking it apart, see how this sits on an angle, a 45-degree angle? That's important to the operation and the fuel draw on this thing. So make sure you maintain that angle when you're putting everything back together. And other than that, that's all it takes to do an annual service on these things. And if you do it every year, that'll help this thing keep running better for you for a long time. So hope that was helpful to somebody. And if it was, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you next video.